What is up, guys? Welcome to the Hoovercast. I am your host, Ahmad, aka CourtsideCapital, and welcome to episode 9 of the Hoovercast. And man, what a week of NBA basketball have we had. It wasn't even the drama. The drama low-key stopped, but it is still continuing on. Last time we talked, it was Kyrie's 5-game suspension. Since then, he's still suspended. There's nothing really going on with that. The Nets have been on a roll. They're 2-1 since the suspension. They just recently lost to the Mavericks on Monday. And we'll talk about that Monday Night Basketball too. But he's still on suspension. I think there's 2 more games left. I think they are playing tonight. Yes, they are. They're playing against the Knicks on ESPN. And earlier today, it did come out that they will not be hiring Ime Udoka, the Brooklyn Nets. They will stick with Jacques Vaughn. And to be honest, I was watching that Mavs-Nets game. There's more ball movement. I like how the ball was moving, even though down the stretch the Mavs were trying to double KD, trying to get the ball out of his hands. There's still a lot of good plays, even though they lost that game. There's still a lot of good plays I liked watching that team, because KD would pass out to either Royce O'Neal or you also had Cam Thomas out there, and you had Joe Harris in the corner for that shot. They also had this sequence where on a fast break, Royce O'Neal had one corner three, and from that same spot, the next possession down, Joe Harris on a fast break hit that same three again, a 6-point turnaround. But I just love how this team is playing. KD's just running with those young guys out there. You know, Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is so shifty, bro. I love watching him play ball. He's like a young Kyrie. If you ever watch Cam Thomas play, I don't know why, he just reminds me of a young Kyrie. He's probably picking up stuff from Kyrie. Lately he has been probably from his year and a half he's been there in Brooklyn. After getting drafted out of LSU. So, the Brooklyn Nets are playing amazing basketball. But I don't know how they're going to integrate Kyrie back into this style of play with Jacques Vaughn. Jacques Vaughn has not yet coached Kyrie as a head coach, because I think the next day after Steve Nash got fired, Kyrie got suspended for 5 games, and that whole controversy started to happen again. So there was a list of 6 things that Joe Tsai, the Brooklyn Nets, and Sean Marks wanted Kyrie Irving to fulfill. It was like I'm trying to pull these up. 1 second. This is a horrible podcast. I should have pulled this up before. So the 6 things are: he issued an apology for posting the link to the movie, and he already did that. That was 1 of 6. Complete the anti-hate causes that Irving, the Nets, and an Anti-Defamation League (ADL) agreed upon in their joint release on November 2nd, including a $500,000 donation towards causes and organizations that work to eradicate hate and intolerance in communities. He kind of did that, but ADL did not accept his $500,000, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. Complete sensitivity training created by the Nets. Create anti-Semitic, anti-hate training designed by the Nets. Meet with representatives from the ADL as well as Jewish community leaders in Brooklyn. After completing 1 to 5, meet with owner Joe Tsai and lead franchise officials and demonstrate the lessons learned and that the gravity of the harm caused in the situation is understood, and provide assurances that this type of behavior will not be repeated. Bro, this is a whole homework assignment, bro. This is a whole homework assignment. It's like, it's insane that they're making Kyrie do this. I know Kyrie is wrong for this. I know he should have never posted this, but come on, Brooklyn is just making it worse for them and Kyrie, and for the league itself, bro. What is Brooklyn doing? I just do not understand what Brooklyn is doing. I mean, I understand that Joe Tsai had messaged Kyrie over and over and over again throughout that last week, where he posted that clip, posted the link to that movie to his interviews with with the media, with in the interaction with Nick Friedel of ESPN. He had messaged him on his phone, but he's never replied. So I guess this is like, I wouldn't say payback, but it's kind of like that. Joe Tsai's trying to get back at Kyrie for not doing what he's supposed to do in contacting him through whatever. And I don't know, it's just they're just doing too much. They're just putting too much pressure on Kyrie. I mean, Jaylen Brown came out yesterday and said that he is not anti-Semitic, and I don't think he said this, but the way he said it was like the Brooklyn Nets are making a mistake doing what they're doing. And we did talk about this, and I do not think that Kyrie will play. I said he. Oh no. I think that Kyrie will play another game for the Brooklyn Nets, and I don't know if he'll finish the season out with the Brooklyn Nets. That's no one can predict what's gonna happen in the future with this team. It's just an unpredictable situation to be in, even if you're in a organization, even if you're on that team. KD came out. I'm pretty sure we talked about this last time, that we need to just play ball, get over the situation, and stop making it worse for Kyrie and the Nets. And the Nets are digging themselves in a hole with this, with what they're doing right now. So I don't know what's going on out there in Brooklyn. They got to fix some stuff up. Whether it be maybe trading Kyrie, because this is not a good situation for him. But even though you're trading him, what team are you trading? There's no market for him. No team wants him. Even LA, the team that was pursuing him in free agency, even if you opted out, they don't want him either. So what are you going to do with Kyrie at this point? Are you going to release him? Are you going to send him home? Keep him on the team, just send him home? Or are you going to play him and try to compete with the team you have right now? And if you integrate Kyrie into this situation, into this offense, what they're running right now, that'll be absolutely amazing. And I was watching Ben Simmons, and he just needs to be more aggressive, man. He had this one play where he came down and just put that stuff up and put that ball up, and it went in. So I just need more of that from Ben, and he's not doing that. His confidence is at an all-time low. I've never seen a player like Ben Simmons, who used to be rim running, a rim running passer, is not rim running anymore. He's just passing the ball, and he goes down the court. He dribbles down the court. There's so many plays in that Mavs game. He had like Maxi Kleber on him. He had Dwight Powell on him, who's easily better than both of those, and can easily go up above both of them. But he's just scared now for some reason. I don't know if that Trae Young play still haunts him to this day, which it would be insane if that is the case, or it's just the fear of just getting fouled and go to the free throw line. I mean, look at Shaq. He took every shot. He took every single shot in the paint with the fear of getting fouled. Got to the free throw line, even though he missed. He was like, I'm putting fear in my opponent that I am willing to get to that free throw line. Same with Giannis. So he I don't know, man. I just do not know what's going on with Ben Simmons. There's still a lot of time left for Ben to improve. I mean, you got till the playoffs, and I don't know how long it will take for Ben to improve. So we'll see how that turns out. But man, what else is going on in the league? The Warriors just suck. They just absolutely suck. I don't know what to do as a Warriors fan. I'm just in awe of how bad we are. We are 3-7, and the bench is just absolutely atrocious. We have like the worst bench in the league, and we have the best starting five in the league. And the bench is not complementing the starting five. I think we talked about this, that when the starting five comes out of the game, the starting five is thinking like Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggs, Loon. They're thinking, are we going to be up? Are we going to be down? Or are we going to be tied when we come back into the game? That's how bad this bench is. Against the Kings, they got a much needed win against the Kings, and I just want to pull up the box score for that game. Steph had like 45 points, man, and you just look at Jordan Poole, and I saw a tweet where It was like Jordan Poole and Steph combined for 49 points, and that was like so like hilarious because he has Jordan Poole, who they paid 130 plus mil to, is now scoring like 2 points, and he has the worst plus minus, or one of the worst plus minuses in the NBA. And I do not know what's going on with this team. They just need to like. I seriously don't know, man. I mean, and they won 116 and 113. And they needed every single point of Steph Curry's 47 in that game. So he was plus 20. Jordan Poole was minus 11. They did not play James Wiseman. He was the DNPCP. Same with JaMychal Green, who I'm surprised with, who's getting DNPCPs. He's not injured. He's just not. Coach Steve is not just. He's just not playing him, which I'm very, very surprised about because he's one veteran player on that bench that can actually spread the floor, that can actually hustle. That Lakers game, he was like he was getting every offensive rebound. He's looking like Dennis Rodman out there. So I just don't know why they're not playing him. It's just so confusing. How he's running these rotations. But man, it's just I don't know what to do about this team. Like Jordan Poole, 2 points, minus 11, 3 assists. He only shot 4 shots on the field. He made 1, which is just unacceptable. They're playing Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome in those bench minutes, who are two-way players who do. Mind you, they're not even that good, bro. They're two-way players. They're not like they're rotational piece players. Over Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, James Wiseman, JaMychal Green. They gotta make something work out here. You do have Andre Iguodala coming back and Dante DiVincenzo maybe on Friday. I think they're facing. I forgot who they're facing on Friday, but they're facing. They have like a 4-day rest, so they're facing the Cavs on Friday, the red hot Cavs. So I just don't know what's going on with this team. Steph is like leading the team like every statistical category. He's averaging 32.5, which is a career high. He's also averaging 7 assists and 7 rebounds. He's shooting 50-40-90. He just can't do anything more. You can't expect more from him, man. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, it's just insane how. Oh my God, it's crazy how bad this team is. Their defense is just horrible. They're 27th in the league in defensive rating with 116.1, and they're 14th in offensive rating. And I think last year they finished top 10 or at least top 5 in like one of the two, or they finished top 10 in both. So this just does not look like the same team, and it just looks like that Draymond and Jordan Poole altercation just changed this team's dynamic completely. This does not look like that same team that we saw in Japan against the Wizards. This does not look like that same team that we saw in June in Boston in Game 6 on the road, who won the NBA Finals. This does not look like that same team. This does not look like that same team that went through Denver, the MVP, that went through Ja, the MIP, that went through Luka, who's also an MVP candidate, that went through Boston with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. This does not look like that same team. This does not look like that same team that won 53 games last year. So I do not know what's going on with this team. They're 12th in the Western Conference. They're 4-7. Man, I just don't know what's going on with this team. Oh man. I'm trying to look at more of these league rankings. Their strength of schedule is 28th. So I guess that means like they're not even facing that many good teams. They didn't even face that many good teams. So I mean, they faced like the Magic. They faced the Magic, They faced the Pistons. They faced the Hornets. They faced the Heat, who aren't even that good. They faced the Kings. They faced the Suns. They faced the Nuggets. They faced the Lakers. It's just sad how this team is 4-7 after facing all those teams. They went 0-6 on the road. First team after winning an NBA championship to go 0-6. Oh man, I can't talk about this team anymore. Oh man. So let me. Damn, I lost base. What was I gonna talk about? The Cleveland Cavaliers. They're gonna face the Cavs, who are red hot right now, who are 8-2. They are currently just absolutely blazing. I mean, they lost their last game against the Clippers by 2, which was a really, really good game down the stretch. Donovan Mitchell is just an amazing player. Darius Garland. This team is just amazingly built. Donovan Mitchell, top 5 MVP candidate. What y'all think? Top 5 MVP candidate? In my opinion, he might be. It is quite possible he might be a top 5 MVP candidate. They are currently second in defensive rating and fourth in offensive rating. They're top 5 in both offensive and defensive ratings. I think they're the only team in the league. I gotta look at those ratings. I think they are the only team. But man, if they're not the only team, I think the Bucks are also a team who are also in the Central Division, who lost their first game against the Hawks, right? Yeah, the Cavs are just playing absolutely amazing. Donovan Mitchell might be my early MVP. He's like the best player on one of the best teams in the NBA. I'm going to release an award prediction show type thing. Maybe I might do that next episode for episode 10. I might do like a monthly award predictions. So that might be for episode 10, which is going to come out next week. But man, this team just gels together perfectly. You got 2 bigs with Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, who really can't stretch the floor. Sometimes they can. I mean, Evan Mobley could a lot of times. You got Kevin Love. He's got a very, very deep team. If they figure out this thing with Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, if they figure out this wing position for themselves, they can definitely be a team who can make that step, make that leap into that upper echelon of Eastern Conference teams. Because Isaac Okoro, I mean, it's easier for wings. I was thinking about this yesterday, where Killian Hayes, who was a point guard on Detroit Pistons, he's getting a lot of playing time for some reason. I mean, not a lot. He's getting good playing time, even though he has not been productive. And I was thinking this, like, it's easier for wings who, like you saw this with Justice Winslow, and I want to talk about the Blazers as well after this. You saw this with Justice Winslow and Josh Jackson. They keep getting opportunities, these wings that did not pan out to be the players that they were set to be. They keep getting these opportunities, and I can see something like that with Isaac Okoro. Maybe down the line, if he does not, become a star player, or not even a star, a complimentary role player that the Cavs might need. Maybe down the line he gets traded or he signs somewhere else. They don't pick up his qualifying hour. They don't offer him an extension. So I do see something of that going on, where Isaac Okoro could go to another team. Maybe the Miami Heat, maybe the Dallas Mavericks, or the Phoenix Suns too. As a matter of fact, you can trade. I don't know if the Suns would do that with Jay Crowder and Isaac Okoro. Even if he goes to like any team, the Spurs would be a good developmental young team for Isaac Okoro. So something like that could definitely happen, where he just becomes what do you call it? He just becomes a better player somewhere else than Cleveland. you've seen that with a lot of players with Justice Winslow. He just was not being played the right way, and he's being played amazing right now. And they're first in strength of schedule, so they have the strengthies. They have the hardest schedule that they've. I mean, they played the Raptors, who they lost their first game against the Raptors. They played the Wizards. They played the Bulls. They played the Celtics twice. They played the Magic. They played the Knicks also. They also played Detroit and the Clippers and Lakers, and they're also about to go play the Warriors, who are 4-7, who just talked about. I also want to touch base on the Portland Trailblazers, who have just been absolutely amazing. They're 7-3. This Northwest division just looks super, super weird. You got the Jazz, you got the Nuggets, and you got the Blazers. This whole, I'm just looking at this right now, and it just looks absolutely it's just weird. You got the Jazz, who are just way too good right now for some reason, and I'm just touch base on the Jazz as well. They're just playing absolutely amazing basketball. They're moving the ball. It's like Will Hardy just. It's like they took a whole bunch of players, right? Put them on a team, sort the shit out. And Will Hardy was like, I bet I'm make this team into a good team. And even though nobody thought that this team would be a good team, they are a good team. They're currently first in the Western Conference, surprisingly 9-3. They're third in the offensive rating and eighth in defensive rating. I think they're one of the top teams to be top 10 in both. So they have the seventh hardest strength of schedule, and they're 18th in pace. They're also scoring 118 points a game, which is second in the NBA, and they're allowing 112 points per game, opponent points per game, which is 14th currently in the NBA. So they're just absolutely playing amazing. Just looking at this team, it says they faced the Lakers last on Monday. They beat them. They faced the Clippers. They beat them. They also faced the Lakers again. That was the game in LA where it went low key close and LeBron was airballing stuff. They faced the Mavericks. They won. They lost that Mavericks game. They faced the Grizzlies. They won convincingly. They had a back-to-back against the Grizzlies, which they won. So this team is just playing pretty good teams. You got Lauri Markkanen, All-Star starting. All-Star campaign. Lauri Markkanen. Man, it's just amazing seeing Lauri Markkanen play amazing basketball. I think he carried from that finish and the Euro Cup that happened. I think that's what they call it. That happened in the summer. So it's just carrying into the NBA right now. It's just amazing how good he's playing, how good basketball he's playing. What else? What else do I want to touch base on with this team? Mike Conley, I guess they're playing. It's just this team is playing well-rounded basketball, and it's just amazing how good they're playing with the talent level they have on this team. And next you got the Portland Trailblazers, who are currently third in the West, 7-3. They are loss-wise, they're tied with the Jazz, but they do not have as many wins as the Jazz. They are currently 17th in offensive rating and 10th in defensive rating. But this team just looks way better than what the stats are showing. Against the Heat, this team, you got Jeremy Grant in the corner hitting wide open, hitting corner threes. You got Josh Hart hitting game winners out here. That was probably one of the best games. That was probably the best game of that Monday night slate. I want to go over that Monday night slate as well. It was just amazing how, and I'll talk about this later. They're currently 13th in strength of schedule and 22nd in points per game with 109.8. And opponent points per game, they're 108.9, which they're 8th in the league. I just Dame and Anthony Simons are just meshing so well together. and they're just playing absolutely amazing basketball. And I can't be happy. I can't be more happier than for Dame, bro. He's stuck with that team, and he's still on this team. So he said he's gonna be on this team for a long, long time. He wants to be. He's into this team, invested in this team. Even though you still don't have Gary Payton, the second playing, who's still out with a core injury. And he is set to make his debut the earliest on November 15th against San Antonio. We'll see how good he plays then. But this team just looks absolutely amazing when you just look at how good this team is playing. Dame is averaging 29. Ant is averaging 22 and a half. Jeremy Grant is a perfect third man for this team. It was a perfect pickup. They found him off I think they've traded like two first and a second, something like that, for Jeremy Grant to the Pistons. And it was an amazing trade. And it was an amazing investment to go into Jeremy Grant, because he has just been an amazing player. Won him games. He's a winning player. They won off 2 back-to-back game winners, with one with Jeremy Grant. Even though that might have been a travel, even though the NBA and these refs are just calling every single travel, and they couldn't call the most obvious travel. That was like anybody at home could see that was a travel. But hey, man, it's just I'm happy for this Blazers team, and all you Blazers fans, y'all deserve this right now. The way you guys are playing. I could see this team being a top 5 team in the West. I could not imagine saying this like at the start of the season, but the way they're just playing. And I want to touch base on Justin Winslow too. They're playing him like the Warriors play Draymond Green. I mean, he's currently averaging 7.7 points per game, for around 5 rebounds a game, and 3.5 assists per game. But he's just doing all the dirty work for the team. He's he's guarding the point guards, he's guarding the small forwards, he's guarding the centers, he's guarding the power forwards, he's guarding the shooting guards. He's in every single position. You want whatever you want him to do, he's doing. So it's amazing how good he's playing for the team. He finally found his footing on the team. We just talked about him, where he was not being rightly used in Miami. It's not coming off the top of my. What other team was? I think it was Memphis, right? It was Memphis. He got traded for Iggy, but I don't think he played that much in Memphis, or maybe he left that year after. And I think he was out of the league, and I think Justice Winslow got signed this offseason, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just look at that. Yeah, he was in Miami, Memphis. Oh, he was in LA with the Clippers, and then he was part of that Norman Powell trade to Portland, and man, he's making it worth it. This was just looking like a pretty decent trade for the Trailblazers as well. The way Justice Winslow is playing, he's playing crunch time minutes for this team. He can distribute the ball. One day I think he had like 9 assists. And so it's amazing how he finally found his footing in this league. Josh Hart's playing amazing as well, 9.1 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's like he's 6'3", right? And he's like grabbing boards over these centers. So it's funny how good he's playing as well. Also, let me just go over the Monday night slate that everybody was talking about, and I just love, and the NBA should do this more and more often, where they go with month where they do this, where all 30 NBA teams play the game every day. Like all 30 teams play on the same day. I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that. But it's amazing how good the NBA managed to do this. It was like one game would start at 7 o'clock, and then another game would start at 7:15, 7:30, 7:45. So they managed to get all 30 teams to play with 15 games. And let's start from the bottom with the Wizards Hornets. I'll be honest with you, I did not watch this game at all. Wizards won 100. I think this game started like 6, bro. I did not have time to watch that game. The Rockets Magic. The Rockets beat the Magic. Jabari Smith is still continuing to struggle, and I do. He came into this league as a shooter, right? And what he's thinking in his mind is that all he can do is shoot. Bro, you can do other stuff too. He's not rebounding. He's not distributing the ball. All he's doing, he took 4 threes, made 1. Even though they won this game because of Jalen Green. And Alperen Sengun, man, I was telling y'all from the beginning, bro. I wasn't telling you guys because I just started, but like before this, I was like so high. I had so high on Alperen Sengun, the Turkish beast. That's my guy right there. So I'm so happy that he's playing amazing, 20 and 10 on 4. And for the Magic, Paolo Banchero, obviously, who's my favorite to win Rookie of the Year currently. With you got Keegan Murray, Jaden Ivey. You also got Tari Eason on the Rockets, who's playing less minutes than Jabari Smith, but is the better rookie on this Rockets team, which is insane. But yeah, Paulo Banchero at 30, in my opinion. Him, Benedict Mathurin, not Jaden Ivey. He's kind of falling off out of the Rookie of the Year race for me. And then you got Keegan Murray. And then you got the Thunder and Pistons, where I think the Thunder were up like the whole way through. But then the Pistons just came back. Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, 21 and 25. Jaden Ivey had 15 and 11. And Shea just looks like an amazing star for the Thunder team. And he just looks like an amazing player for this team. And I don't know if I would be Shea, if I would stay with the situation. It's gonna be tough for Shea. I mean, he said he's fully committed to this Thunder rebuild. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if I was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, if I would be fully committed to a rebuild. I mean, you guys, what's their record right now? I just want to look at that. They're currently 4-6. If you're this bad, just tank, bro. You got Victor Wembanyama across the Atlantic coming over next year. Just tank, and it's tank for Wemby, bro. It's I need imagine like chat. That would be I need a chat Victor Wembanyama, like back front court. That would be just absolutely amazing to see. I mean, they would be both rookies that season too. So next is the Pelicans Pacers. Miles Turner just had his statement game. He had like 37, 12, and 1 and 3 blocks. It looked like he had more than 3 blocks. The Pacers won 129 to 122. Tyrese had 24 and 13. Buddy Hield had 25 and 3. And on the Pels side, you had BI with 29 and Zion with 26. So the Pels are currently 5-5, and the Pacers are 5-5. I don't know if the Pacers are in that play-in bracket, or are they in lottery bracket, or are they even looking to make the playoffs. We still do not know yet how this team, what this team's direction currently is, because you never know, this team could surprise people and make the play-in and maybe even sneak into the playoffs. But it will be tough for this team. I mean, Benedict Mathurin didn't have a good game because everybody else was playing amazing. He had only 8 points, but when they're not playing good, you got Benedict Mathurin, who's playing absolutely amazing. The Suns and Sixers, I did not watch this game either. I do not know what happened throughout the game. All I know is that the Sixers won 188. Joel had 33 and 10. I guess that was good. The Bucks and Hawks, Trae Young sat out, Giannis sat out, but it was all DeJounte. It was a whole DeJounte Murray show. And you also had AJ Griffin, who's a rookie, and he just absolutely played amazing. 24, 4-1, 10 of 15 from the field. And DeJounte Murray, 25, 8 and 11, 11, 24. That's the luxury of having a player like DeJounte Murray. He was an all-star, I think last year. He was an all-star, right? Or last year or the year before then, 2021. And no, I think it was last year in where was last year's All-Star game? Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, I think he was an All-Star last year in Cleveland. So that's a luxury. Even if Trae Young is out, you still have a player like DeJounte Murray playing. That's a luxury of having a player like a number 2 type player who can do the same stuff he can, except the shooting ability and the defensive ability. But he can control the offense. He can facilitate the ball the right way. So oh wait, actually Giannis did play this game. Did he sit out the game before? I thought Giannis sat out this game. I was bugging then. Giannis did not sit out this game. He had 25, 7 and 2 on 9 of 20. But the Hawks broke the Bucks' 9-0 streak, and now there's no win in the Siemens basketball in the NBA. And then you got the Trailblazers and Heat. This was the game of the night for me, where the Trailblazers just absolutely went off in the clutch. You had Josh Hart just hit that game winner. You had Jeremy Grant hit that clutch 3 in the corner, the right corner, to give them the lead. Or no, I think it was to cut the lead down to like 2 or 3. But and then it was actually to take the lead. So I remember the sequence. It was to take the lead. It was 107-104. Miami Heat called a timeout. They gave it to Max Strus out of the timeout. Max Strus hit this wild 3. And then that I think they did not call a timeout. It was 107-107. Dame dribbled down the ball. I think it was Jimmy Butler who was on Josh Hart. He kind of nudged a little bit towards Dame, which gave Dame the space to pass it out to Josh Hart to drain that 3, and he had enough space and enough time to drain that 3. Next, you had the Raptors Bulls. This was like a couples kind of series type thing. OG had that crazy dunk. The Bulls won 111-97. Zach LaVine had 23 and 5. Pascal is still out. I think he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 to 3, I think. So I hope to see him healthy. He's just playing absolutely amazing, MVP type caliber level. And then the Grizzlies Celtics, which is a really, really good game to watch. JT had like 39 and 39. Yeah, he had 39, 3 and 2. Ja had 38 and 9. There's funny clips circling around the internet on Twitter where Ja Morant was like at the end of the game was like missed these free throws to make it a close game so we can go to OT. And Jason Tatum was like, I gotta go put Deuce to sleep. So it's just it was a good game. But the Celtics edged out the win 109-106. The Knicks and Timberwolves 120-107. The Knicks won. The Timberwolves struggles keep coming. It's just every single time they just cannot figure out how to play together, how to play a good style of basketball. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it crossed anybody's mind that this type of difficulties would come up for the Minnesota Timberwolves, because we thought Chris Finch, he is a good coach. We thought Chris Finch would adjust his team to getting to that style of play where both Cat and Rudy Gobert could just, play together at a good level of basketball. But it's just not happening. And it's just going to the media and just spitting his mind out. He's like against the Knicks. He said, "Well, we just play soft." And I think when he was asked about the 0 dunks, he finally got a dunk. He has like 1 or 2 right now. He was like, "What am I supposed to do when everybody's in the paint? I'm not Giannis. I can't jump over everybody." So it's just this team just does not have the chemistry. They're 5-6 right now. I don't know if they will figure this out. I hope they will. But we'll see. The Nuggets and Spurs. I did not get not a minute of playing and watch time from me. The Nuggets won 115-109. The Spurs are currently 5-6 as well. Spurs look good, but the Nuggets look amazing. Jamal Murray's trying to get back into his groove. He had 19, 5, and 6. Jokic at 26, 8, and 10. Michael Porter at 24, 6, and 2. So this big three is trying to get back together, trying to incorporate themselves back into that groove that they were in when they made the Western Conference Finals in 2020. Bones Highland off the bench is playing amazing as well. 14, 2-1, and 5 of 10 from the field. And then you got the Nets and Mavericks game where the Mavericks won by 2. And man, this is a crazy game because KD had made 62 straight free throws this season, and I think he got fouled at a 3. It was bad foul. It was a bad foul. It wasn't a bad foul call, it's just a bad foul by the Mavericks. So they were down by 3, the Nets. They gave it to KD, and the Mavericks wanted a foul, so they get 2 free throws and they get the ball back, and it would just become a foul game. But KD knew what was coming, and he's a veteran. He knows how to maneuver through these things. He just put his arms up. He got into that shooting motion quick. So I think it was Dorian Finney-Smith when he fouled him, DFS when he fouled him. It was in shooting motion, so he got 3 free throws, but he missed the second free throw. That broke his 62 straight free throw streak. KD had 26, 4, and 4, 10 of 20 from the field. And Luka had an amazing. Luka's just continuing his dominant streak. Luka and Giannis are my 2 MVP favorites right now. I might give the edge to Luka. Right now he's averaging 36. He had 36, 6, and 6, 11 of 22, and he is averaging, I think, 30 plus. I think he has the most consecutive 30 plus games since Wilt Chamberlain right now. I think Wilt had like 20 something, and he's in game. What game are we in? He's in game 9, so he could quite possibly break Wilt's streak. And when you're in that stratosphere of Wilt Chamberlain, you just know that's his greatness, because Wilt was just absolute greatness at that time. And then the Kings Warriors game, we touched base on it a little bit, where the Warriors just needed all those 47 points from the Kings. From Steph. You also had Andrew Wiggins had a pretty good game too, 25, 10, and 2. He had a pretty big plays. He had a big 3 at the end. This team, we talked about them. I don't want to talk about them anymore. It's just getting me madder and madder. But the Kings had 28, 2, and De'Aaron Fox actually had 28, 2, and 6, 8 of 17 from the field. And I just want to talk about that last play where Kevin Huerter actually did get fouled in it. And I just want to talk about how flawed this LTM report is, last 2-minute report that the NBA releases after every game for the last 2 minutes if any fouls or anything happened. There's no point in that. What are you going to do? Reward that team with the win at that point? Well, you can't say anything about that because they were at 3 free throws and maybe Kevin Huerter would miss 1. So it clearly was a foul. He literally high-fived Clay. Clay just high-fived Kevin Huerter's arm. I don't know what Clay was doing. He's not in the right state of mind right now. He has one game where he's good and he has another game where he's just bad. I hope he breaks out the slump. He's Klay Thompson. He can. In 2019, he did the same thing. And then he went out and got 14 threes in Chicago. So I hope he can break out the slump. So, this just looks bad for the Warriors. Going on to the next game, the Jazz and Lakers. The Lakers lost again. Not surprised. They're currently 2-8. The Jazz are 9-3, first number 1 in the West. We talk about the Jazz. I don't want to talk anymore about the Lakers. They'll figure it out. They won't figure it out, but they will figure it out. I don't know how. Let's leave it up to them. The Cavs and Clippers, we also talked about this a little bit. Donovan Mitchell had 31 and 2. Evan Mobley had 26, 8, and 1. And for the Clippers side, you had Paul George with 26, 5, and 3. And Marcus Morris had a pretty good game with 26 and 1. and Norman Powell finally broke his slump that he was going through. He was not playing up to par that everybody thought he was. He had 17-1 and 5 of 6 from the field and 2 steals. So that was it for that Monday slate, which I really liked that the NBA did. And I hope they can start doing that more and more throughout the NBA season. Maybe they'll do that next year too. With no, there's not elections next year. But they should start to incorporate that next year with maybe once a month they do all 30 teams play on one day, and next day maybe a bye or like a rest day that the NBA could use. That would not be a bad idea. So I hope they listen to us fans and go with that idea. So I think that might be it for today. It's like a 40+ minute episode for episode 9. Episode 10 will probably be the award predictions, first month in award predictions, or actually it won't be predictions. I don't want to give it that name of prediction. It will be my awards. So it will be all based upon what I think. It will be the first month awards. Like MVP, DPOY, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Most Improved, Sixth Man, all those awards. I might try to incorporate some more into it. So we'll see how that goes next week. I'll see you all next week. I'll have some more videos coming out throughout the YouTube channel. Go sub on CourtsideCapital on all audio platforms. If you're listening right now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, what else? Spotify. Come on, show some love. Even on Instagram and TikTok, go show some love on that too. CourtsideCapital. I'm doing well on Instagram finally. I was like shadow banned for a little bit, but now I'm not. So I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe till then. Peace.